Billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
A poor man prayers,
every man bleeds.
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.
Under the Fair Use Act, these videos are for information and educational purposes, and I do not own the rights to any of these videos that are shown. All rights reserved to the original content creators.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy SL550, and this is the Never Gonna Lose Again podcast. Before we start, make sure you like, share, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. I truly do appreciate it. Help your boy on the road to monetization. So today, man, we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to get into Gavin Newsom. He won that the votes. He got the votes on his Prop 50. So that means that they will gain more seats. The claim is they did it because Texas did it. But what we know about this whole gerrymandering, redistricting thing is that Democrats, especially in California, let's keep it on California, already has majority of the seats in California. So, and on top of everything, I just don't trust anything that Gavin Newsom does, bro. Anything that this dude touches is literally, he got some type of fraud, some type of something going on behind the scenes. Nothing that this guy does is genuine, honest at all, bro. He's a true politician. This guy does not care about Californians. He doesn't care about America. A lot of Democrats right now, they're trying to sell America out, and that's all that matters. These people just want power, and they just want to sell us the fuck out, man. But anyway, we're going to get on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about RJ Talks breaks down this whole thing with the tariffs. So allegedly, the decision, don't know why it's going to take this long, but allegedly the decision for this whole tariff ordeal in the Supreme Court isn't going to have a decision for it until around the midterms. So we know the Democrats are going to use that. You know, I give it to them, bro. They know how to play the game. I give them that. They play the game very well. And, you know, like I said in the thumbnail, bro, it's Trump against the world. It's like, you know, as a president, you're dealing with outside, you know, countries, foreign policy, wars. He got, you know, came in with multiple wars going on. So he got all of that stuff going on, still going on between Russia and Ukraine, even Israel and that whole deal. They said it's a peace deal, but we don't know how much of a peace deal it really is. And so you got all of the stuff going on, you know, foreign, and you got a bunch of shit, even more shit going on domestically right here in America. So Trump, bro, yo, listen, bro. You know, we never seen nothing like it. You know, like everything that this guy's trying to do is like I said, man, the world is against him. He got everybody against him, bro. Even though he has more of a stronger team as far as his administration goes, still, bro. Like, I give it to these people, bro. They have brainwashed Americans to the point of no return, and they don't care. They don't care. It's like when most of these people go and vote, all they see is whether it's Democrat. They don't even know the person, their name, where they're from, what they represent, no nothing. And we know that because they voted the guy over there in where was that? Maryland or one of them Jones. The one who said that, you know, he, you know, wanted to kill or something that had to do with death with his opponent, you know. So like these people have no integrity. They don't care. And they know their voters are, not all of them, but most of them, as we see, is radical, like, and they're slaves to the party, period. Like they don't care nothing about America and what's best for America. all they care about is this person that's on the ballot Democrat, and they're going to vote. So I try to tell people, man, don't be a slave to this whole Democrat Republican thing. And like I said, this goes for people with this whole Republican shit too. Stop being slaves to the party. Understand, bro. Understand, big government is not good for you. Government wasn't designed to take over and control Americans. That's not what it was made for. That's why we have certain rights and, the right to bear arms. Like, the right to bear arms isn't for you to, it wasn't put there for you to protect your home, even though that's one of the things you can use it for. It's a tool for that. But it was put in place to, if a government ever became tyrannical. And the average person don't even know that. They out here literally, oh, we don't need guns. We don't need it. Okay. Okay. You know what I mean? When the government owns everything and has control over everything, we'll see, how most of these people feel. More likely, I won't be here to see that, but the way it's going, bro, is looking like it's going in that direction, bro. But anyway, man, enough with the rant. Let's get on to this first video with my guy, RJTalksTV. If you're not tapped in, go tap in with him. Definitely dope. He's going to go over this whole tariff dilemma that Trump is basically going through.
It is Thursday, November 6th. President Trump speaking on the Supreme Court's tariff hearing, and he looks nervous. The first time I think I've ever seen Trump visibly shook, and for good reason. We'll show you. Also, Democrats about to cave on the government shutdown. Huge pressure happening now behind the scenes from centrist Democrats to cut a deal with Republicans without Schumer's blessing. In fact, Dems apparently done with Chuck Schumer. Both the moderates and the left flank of the party fed up with Schumer for very different reasons, and good thing they are, because major disruptions across the country thanks to this government shutdown.
Before the Supreme Court issues a ruling, it could be several weeks. Are you going to lay out any new additional tariffs before?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to hope that we win. I can't imagine that anybody would do that kind of devastation to our country. We'd have to pay back trillions of dollars. We've taken in trillions. We haven't taken in billions. We've taken in trillions of dollars. We've made trade deals based on that give us, as an example, European Union, $950 billion. Japan, $650 billion. South Korea, $350 billion. Without this, we're not talking about that kind of money. And they're okay. They're satisfied. They love us. I just left. They all love us. So
you could tell this shit frustrating him. You know what I mean? Because, I understand from a constitutional perspective why they're saying that, basically this gives Trump and future presidents too much power over, I guess, regulating tariffs or whatever the case may be. I get that. But right now, bro, we're in a time where Democrats aren't playing, they're not playing it loose, bro. And the fact is that these people are super radical and they don't care. They're willing to do any and everything. And it seems like to ruin the country, bro, and to make Americans slaves. But the only people that don't see this are layman Americans, bro. And that's just the truth of it. But you can tell this is making him mad because think about it. He put these tariffs in place and not maliciously. Let the Democrats tell you it was, to hurt us and all of the. No, he put tariffs in place because for too long, foreign countries have been taking advantage of America. And he wanted to make fair trade. And this is what he's doing. And we know this because he has made multiple deals already. And also, which everybody was bitching about the most, is China. They already are in trade talks right now. He's not even a year in. You feel me? So, I could see if it was looking more like he had malicious intentions with the tariffs, with the tariff thing. But why ain't nobody talking about the tariffs that are being put on American goods going to foreign countries? Nobody's talking about that. Everybody want to talk about what's going to happen if tariffs this, tariffs. hey, man.
It's not like we're such
gonna
bad
say-
people, but they were doing it to us until I came along.
The U.S. Supreme Court hearing arguments in Trump's IEEPA tariff case yesterday. Conservative justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Roberts, and Amy Coney Barrett grilling Trump's attorneys over separation of powers. The real gist of this case is if Trump as president has the legal authority, the unilateral authority to invoke tariffs, if he can use emergency powers to set tariffs without congressional authority. The justices seem to think tariffs are a tax. And of course, as everyone knows, only Congress has the right to tax us, tax Americans, thanks to the 16th Amendment, the worst amendment in the U.S. Constitution. Now, Trump's attorneys argued his position well. Solicitor General Sauer trying to explain to the court that tariffs are not a tax.
And before he gets into that too, Donald Trump already let people know that it was a time in our history where we didn't pay income tax. We collected tariffs. We collected revenue from foreign countries. And it was working very well. So that's what it seems like Trump is trying to go towards, a place where we'll bring in so much revenue and, have these deals and be able to also bring manufacturing back, also, bring money into the economy with business. But people they're not putting it in that way to make people understand like what he's trying to do. Like I seen on one of I think it was Fox, it might have been one of the other networks, but she said she brought up the fact that if the argument was that the tariffs will replace income tax, then that could be but that's what it seems as though he's trying to do. He's already mentioned that, to be honest. He has already said that. He's trying to do away with the IRS, he's trying to do away with income tax, trying to make it to where we only have one set tax. The things that he's doing is trying to bring revenue in the country, trying to bring jobs back, manufacturing jobs back in the country. And we already seen that he's doing that. He's already brought in massive amounts of money with these tariffs. So not only will them shooting this down affect his economic plan, it's also going to be bad because we're going to have to get that money back. Like, this doesn't make no sense to me, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. I believe at the end of the day, a president, whoever's in power, should have, obviously, I understand the branches of government and all of that, but if you see a clear direction that a president is going, and it's to benefit America, I don't see why we're not doing it collectively. It's all about Republican versus Democrat. That's when they want to make everything. Like, we're the good guys, they're the bad guys. When it's like, bro, Democrats just want to tax you to it. Like, look at Mondani's plan. Free bus rides, free child health care, free. It's not free. It's not free. It is, and its proposal to pay for it is to tax the rich. What? The rich already pay almost half of the taxes in New York City. Now you want to tax them more? And he tries to make it sound like it's nothing, but bro, when people start fleeing New York City, when jobs and businesses start fleeing New York City, when this affects small business in New York City, like, when are people going to wake up? Like, nothing's free, bro. This welfare that we're giving out, SNAP, all of these welfare programs, they're not free, bro. We pay for them. You pay for them. The government doesn't make money. The money the government gets is from American citizens, bro. So for every program that you're fighting so hard for because you want to, save everybody, it's hurting you at the same time. And I can see if we had these programs and they were actually benefiting Americans here like American-born people, it could be understandable. And we wouldn't even be paying as much as we pay. But the fact of the matter is, you got legal immigrants that come here who are getting more benefits than American citizens. And then you got illegal immigrants who are coming here who are getting more than U.S.-born citizens. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? So just imagine if we scratch both of them out, because I think legal and illegal immigrants shouldn't be getting any social services. I think that should just be for American citizens. But if you say legal immigrants can get it, I'm not even mad at that. But the fact that legal immigrants get more than actual U.S.-born citizens, to me, is crazy. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I don't know.
We've been
Sounds like
saying
they
this
tryna
since
hurt
Trump was
America.
elected, before Liberation Day even. Think about it. Tax means you have no way around it. The tax is the tax. Tariffs don't fit that definition. You don't have to buy an Italian Ferrari. You could buy a Ford, made in America, no tariff. All of this wreaking havoc on Trump's economic and foreign policy strategy. We're already seeing the effects in markets, folks. Credit markets completely upside down. Bond yields surging higher yesterday, even though the Fed cut rates last week and are set to cut the night rate again in December, yet Treasury yields rising. The Fed lowered the night rate to 3.75 to 4%, yet the 30-year just touched 4.75% yesterday. Why? How is that possible? Because Trump's tariffs, the U.S. manufacturing base, but they were also helping our nation's balance sheet tremendously. The U.S. federal budget deficit fell for the first time in years thanks to Trump's tariffs. We have a $1.8 trillion deficit. That means the federal government spends $1.8 trillion more than we collect in revenues. $1.8 trillion more than we make. They spend $1.8 trillion more than we make. The tariffs collected around $400 billion thus far in like 6 months. Annualized, that'll cut the deficit almost in half, helping to normalize our country's fiscal health, calming credit markets, leading to lower yields. Again, all of this now up in the air. The clawbacks as well, should Trump lose in the Supreme Court, will be a wrecking ball. Hundreds of billions in tariff revenues would have to be returned, refunded. It would be one giant embarrassment. Even Justice Amy Coney Barrett understands this and appears to be considering it. Watch.
If you win, tell me how the reimbursement process would work. Would it be a complete mess?
It's a very complicated thing. There's got to be an administrative protest. There was a harbor management case earlier that this court was involved with in the United States Shoe, in which, the refund process took a long time. There were any number of claims and equitable relief.
So a mess.
So it's difficult,
Okay.
absolutely. We don't deny that it's difficult.
Now, all of this won't be decided until next year. Coincidentally, right when the midterm elections are ramping up, when everyone is in full campaign mode for the midterms, giving the Democrats a cudgel to whip Trump and Republicans with. Is that the intention? I don't know. Meanwhile, the government shutdown continuing, now on day 37, making it the longest shutdown in U.S. history. U.S. aviation operations now severely strained across the country. We're seeing widespread flight delays.
Like, bro, this is what I'm saying, though. Like, when you see everything that's going on, it just seems like everything that these people are doing is hurting America, bro. They're literally keeping the government shut down, playing politics for this whole election. When literally, bro, the elections was all based in Democratic states. So it's not a shocker. Oh, Democrats won. Bro, you won in New Jersey. You won in New York City. They're Democratic states. Like, it's not even that big of a deal. But they're willing to do any and everything. Like I tell you, bro, they do not care. They do not care. Do you think that they're not starving? They're making a lot of money already off raping you. So you think they care about you? No, they already proved that they don't. So them shutting down the government, it means nothing to them. They get to go home and live in their plush life while you suffer. And then with hopes, which it did do, that you blame it on Trump because he's the president and they have the House and the Senate, because you're ignorant, because you're a fool, and I'm not even trying to be, because I used to be the same way. And it's like, we need to wake up. at what point do you, like, what do you got to go through? Like, they already done put us through COVID, miraculously happened right before Joe Biden became president. It just all just appeared. A whole pandemic, the one that Obama said that they were prepping for, and that, you know, he said that twice, actually, too. Like, bro, I'm telling you, bro, these people are willing to do any and everything. This is why, like, we'll get to it. Let's get to it.
Staffing shortages, and starting tomorrow, a mandatory 10% reduction in air traffic at 40 of the nation's largest airports.
The cuts will impact major airports across the country, including big hubs like LAX in Los Angeles, JFK in New York, and Chicago O'Hare. We spoke with passengers here at the Reagan-Washington National Airport who are bracing for the fallout.
Yeah, I just got the delay from JetBlue saying you're delayed by an hour and 13 minutes.
Travelers like Vic Seastead already seeing delays. His flight to Palm Beach International, one of dozens of flights at Washington National Airport, showing up yellow on the departure board. And with the FAA announcing plans to cut 10% of flights at 40 major airports starting on...
Now look at that. You know what I mean? We're going to move on from this video, go on to the next, because we're talking about the shutdown. So I want to get into some other stuff. We already know the government is shut down. It's historical and all of this shit. And it's so crazy that all of this can be fixed with a simple 5 Democrats voting. Now, allegedly, you know, some Democrats are supposed to be coming on board and going against Chuck Schumer. So we'll see how that goes. But, bro, they literally can open up the government, no problem whatsoever. Like, they could have did it 30 days ago. But they're choosing to play politics, bro. Understand that, bro. Understand that. Like, if you get SNAP benefits or WIC, they don't care about you. Because they knew you were going to be ignorant enough to blame it on Trump. And they got everybody to go out and vote on Prop 50 and all this dumb shit. Because that's all it was about. That's all it was about, bro. And they needed to pass Prop 50 so they can get some extra seats in California. They needed to lock in these elections in these Democratic states. And it worked. I give it to them. Bro. They know how to play the game. I give him that much. But let's get into this next segment.
The sole reason for the entire federal government being shut down now, the sole reason for all the American people suffering all this pain and hardship is because of the fear of political retribution from the far-left activists who run the Democrat Party. That is the motivation for the shutdown.
So with that, we bring in Republican Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, whose committees include Armed Services, Veterans Affairs, Agriculture, Health, Education, Labor, Pensions. All of those, of course, impacted by this shutdown. He's also running for governor in his home state. Senator, thank you very much for being here. Chad Berger is reporting that there is a new bill that is potentially in the works, that there could be work going into the weekend. What is the shape of what's being discussed right now? And does this signal that maybe a change is coming, maybe some resolution is coming?
Well, in the last week or so, Martha, the Democrats have snuck around behind the scenes and worked with our leadership team, knowing that they want to get out of this themselves. Not all of them, but a few of them, and hopefully it would be enough to open up. But I think they really feel emboldened that they won a couple of blue state elections this past Tuesday. And I don't know whether the deal is still on the table. You know, it's about 3 appropriation bills that we'd put in the CR, put a date in there, get it done, voted in, and possibly kick the can down the road to January. Here's the problem, Marcia. These people feel empowered on the Democratic side. They can't control President Trump, but they think they can control United States Senate.
It's funny because you say that, and I think about the interview from yesterday that I played with Hakeem Jeffries. Like, you could see how giddy he was. That he was excited, and they feel like, yo, we're fighting back against Trump, bro. It's all about Trump, bro. These people are crazy, bro. Everything that they stand for is like, it's just Trump, bro. These people really have TDS.
That's the reason.
Bro.
As President Trump had us in the White House yesterday for breakfast, he said, if you don't bust a filibuster, we won't get anything else done. There's going to be more closures. So we got to make a decision on our side. I'm all for going to 51. Now, I was totally against it until I saw really how this place works. And I've been up here 5 years, and there's not going to be anything done if we don't do something about this filibuster, pass it up, and let's go and just kick the Democrats to the side and get something done for the American people. They are suffering.
Yeah, it's very.
So I just wanted to play that part right there because it's important. So basically what he's saying that they want to filibuster, they want to end the filibuster because that's what they're doing. That's what the Democrats are doing to keep the government shut down. And it's affecting the economy, it's affecting air travel and different things. So they're saying, look, Trump already said it. They call it the nuclear option, but it's basically them. It's not actual nuclear weapon or nothing. It's them ending the filibuster. So he's saying that senator was basically saying that seeing what he's been seeing in Washington, he's now really like, you know what? At first I was against it, but now I'm on board with it because he understands, bro. And this is why people think Trump is like just like extremist or nothing. No, Trump knows who he's up against. He knows what he's up against, bro. He knows. And he knows that these people, if the shoe was on the other foot, they would have already did it. He already knows this is not the same politics from 20 years ago, 10 years ago even. This is different. These people are extremists. Seriously. My bad. Let me get into this next video about this whole Prop 50 thing.
Prop 50 passing by a wide margin. California Democrats and Republicans are working on the next phase.
Well, the state GOP is launching a lawsuit to try and block Prop 50 from taking effect.
CBS LA political reporter Tom Waite is here now with details of the lawsuit and to break down the impact of Prop 50.
Yeah, lots of things happening at the same time. You've got the lawsuits going on, but you also have Republicans kind of lining up, preparing for the fact that it may just, stay in place and they've got to figure out what their political futures are, right? So millions of mail-in ballots are still being counted. So far, though, the results are better than what most Democrats expected. President Trump is urging more Republican-controlled states to redraw their maps in this ongoing high-stakes battle. Take a look at where the numbers are right now. This is statewide. It's almost 64% of the votes, yes votes, with 5.2 million on the yes side and about 2.9 million on the no side.
What a night for the Democratic Party.
A decisive victory for Governor Gavin Newsom. Newsom doing a victory lap with Prop 50 passing by a wide margin.
We're proud of the work that the people of the state of California.
Look how long her fucking neck is. God damn. Shit. Man, that shit got hella veins in it. Fuck.
California did to send a powerful message to an historic president. He is.
Notice what he said to an historic president. He knows Trump is going to go down as the GOAT. And that's why they care so much about just battling anything they can against Donald Trump.
The most historically unpopular president.
Less than 24 hours after the race was projected to win, the California GOP is launching a lawsuit to block Prop 50 from taking effect.
Community members throughout the state of California have spent tens of thousands of hours pouring input into the shaping of these districts, and in one fell swoop, political insiders grabbed the power away from the people.
Newsom responded to the lawsuit with a post on X showing a mic stand tipping over while the state GOP attorney was trying to speak with reporters and included this caption: "We haven't reviewed the lawsuit, but if it's from the California Republican Party and Harmeet Dillon's law firm, it's going to fail. Good luck, losers." President Trump also weighed in.
He wants to be Donald Trump so bad, bro. Do you know this like be like Donald Trump, even Mom Donnie, they all trying to, that's why they brung it up. Oh, they say that he's like the left wing version of you. And Trump said he thinks he's more good looking or some shit.
On Tuesday night's results from here and other Democratic victories across the country.
I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody.
With Prop 50 passing, California has a new congressional map that favors Democrats and is intended to eliminate 5 GOP House seats in next year's midterms. In Southern California, longtime Congressman Ken Calvert is among the GOP House members in danger of losing his job in 2026. He says he intends to run in a newly drawn district.
Under this new map, Democrats will be in a position to flip 3 to 5 seats. And they also have another half dozen or so incumbents who were in competitive races before last night, but are now in safer districts. Some of them are still in very competitive races, but they're all in a better position than they were previously. So this is definitely a game changer for Democrats.
The redistricting battle started with President Trump calling up Texas's governor over the summer to change their map to help Republicans. Trump is now urging other Republican-controlled states to do the same to protect the GOP majority in next year's midterms. But even if Trump succeeds, experts say nothing is guaranteed.
The Republicans are really dealing with a potential enthusiasm problem on their side because a lot of the voters who turned out to vote when Trump was on the ballot may not be as likely to turn out in these off-year and midterm elections.
Orange County Republican.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. It's getting wicked. I'll give it to them. Like I said, they definitely know how to. They definitely play this politics shit good. And that's why I think like the things that Trump is proposing and trying to do is good because he understands that it's a different age, bro. It's a different game being played. And it seems like Trump is the only one on his side that's really trying to play the game. Everybody else still think it's, 1960, 1975 or something. Like, nah, bro, these people are extremists. They're radical. They want bigger government. They want to that's why I understand why people want to vote for that. I'm not voting for anybody that's trying to raise taxes, bro. We already pay too much. We already pay into the system, dog. They got hella taxes, bro. So many different taxes. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. Like, why are we paying? Why do you want to pay so much taxes? Why do you want these people to be digging in your pockets so much? Like, even I thought that's why I'm about to fucking be out and go to Florida for real. Ron DeSantis, he's my type of guy, bro. You know what I mean? Talking about like property taxes. Like, why is there property taxes? Like, bro, with all the taxes that these people are putting in place, my nigga, you won't own shit. Everything you have, you don't own it. Cause go ahead and miss a payment on that house. Go ahead and miss a payment on them property taxes. They coming for that shit. Just think about that. Let's just say whatever the amount of money. I don't care if you paid $30,000 for your house or if you paid $500,000 for your house. Once you buy that, it's yours. But no, it's not. You had to pay property taxes. For what? For what? They want to tax you in every which way, bro. So it's like, they claim like, capitalism is bad and this and that. No, making money is good. What y'all are doing is extortion. It's friendly extortion. Yeah, I ain't with that getting extorted shit. People need to wake the fuck up.
In today's video, the Supreme Court just handed President Trump another win. This is the 24th ruling from the High Court in his favor. Also, a federal judge has an insane ruling regarding SNAP benefits. And Senator John Kennedy, his bill to cancel paychecks for members of Congress, that's been denied. All these stories will show you what both sides are saying, but let's start with this ruling from the Supreme Court. Take a listen.
We've got some breaking news out of Washington. The Supreme Court will allow the Trump administration to deny transgender and non-binary Americans passports that reflect the sex designation of their choosing. The decision was 6-3 with Justices Jackson, Kagan, and Sotomayor dissenting. It pauses a lower court ruling that blocked the administration's policy.
All right, let's just take a pause, give you the bottom line. Number one, this is the 24th ruling in favor of the Trump administration. Number two, this prevents people from putting the words transgender or non-binary and sticking to their biological gender at birth. And number three, like I stated, this is a common sense policy. 77 million people voted for this. But the three liberal justices, of course, they disagree. The government seeks to enforce a questionably legal new policy immediately, but it offers no evidence that it will suffer any harm if it is temporarily enjoined from doing so, while the plaintiffs will be subjected to an imminent concrete injury if the policy goes into effect. So according to Ketanji Brown Jackson, by removing this policy that is not rooted in common sense, meaning someone could put the words transgender on their passport, she claims this is immediately hurting them, damaging them. And it goes back to suicidal empathy, in my opinion. Okay,
Bro, this is the Democratic Party. Just think about that. All of this, like transgender stuff that's going on, right? Abortions skyrocketing, going crazy. Like, bro, all of this demonic shit is all Democrat policy. Like grown men dressed up in skirts with makeup on, going to elementary schools. Elementary, that makes it even worse. Like, it would be super bad even if they went to a college. But going to an elementary school to read story time to children, that's the Democratic Party. Bro, they were giving out abortions and vasectomies outside of the DNC, my guy. My lady. Bro, you were talking about a demonic force. It's crazy, bro. I'm not saying the Republican Party is angels. But what I'm saying is the way the Democratic, it's not the same. I told you, the John F. Kennedy days is gone. They've been gone. They've been gone. Like, these people make Lyndon B. Johnson look moderate. Bro, it's like, come on, bro. Like, and this is why black people make me mad. Do you know Margaret Sanger, the whole invention of aborting children, the reason why it was even brung to the forefront was to literally commit a genocide against black people. And we get the most abortions. Like every trap that they put out there, we just fall right on that motherfucker. And then we continue to keep falling right on it every time, bro.
Let's go to our next story. Senator John Kennedy introduced a bill to cancel paychecks for members of Congress because the government is shut down, but it was just denied by Rand Paul. Take a look.
So, starting with my first bill, which would say members of Congress can't be paid and don't get back pay, even after we end the shutdown. That's called the No Shutdown Paychecks to Politicians Act. I ask unanimous consent that the Senate proceed to the immediate consideration of my bill, that bill, which I just described, which is at the desk. I further ask that the bill be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motion to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Is there objection?
Mr. President, reserving the right to object.
Objection to the modification is heard.
Okay. Now,
Is there an objection to the original request?
Reserving the right, Mr. President.
Senator from Kentucky.
Reserving the right to object. I think it's actually not clear at all that the president wouldn't sign a bill to continue paying federal workers. I think it's actually a universal sentiment among both parties, among the American people, particularly among the soldiers, that we ought to continue to pay the soldiers, continue to pay the workers. I'm perhaps the most conservative member of the Senate. I vote to cut spending on everything. I think we spend way too much, but I'm not for cutting the salaries of people who have a contract and who are doing their work.
Okay, let's make sure you guys understand.
Man, fuck that. Fuck that shit. Y'all for cutting. Now, I'm not saying them, they Republicans, they voted. You know what I'm saying? But, man, fuck that. You know what? Take all Democrats. Take their checks. You know what I mean? These people are wicked, bro. Some wicked motherfuckers, bro. The fact that literally by tomorrow morning, like the way this shit is, bro, they could literally turn the lights back on in Washington and literally even still send out people's SNAP benefits. Like, they could do that if they want. Like, with no issues. But they see that there's, I think it is, though. They see that it's working. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of people out there blaming Trump for this whole shutdown. You know, they're got a bunch of people online making videos. And, like, even though they know it's a lie, They don't care because it's working. Just like the ballroom lie, right? It's a blatant lie, but they don't care. And this is why I don't respect media, cable media, legacy media stations, because Mondani got on there and literally was saying Trump is spending $300 million, I think it was, or I forget how much it was. I don't know if it was. It was 300 million, right? Yeah, I think it was $300 million for the ballroom to be made, right? And he put it in a way where it made it look like taxpayers were paying for it, even though everybody knows that taxpayers aren't paying for the ballroom. But did the host, the woman, I don't even know her name, but did she correct him? No. Did she give him any pushback? No. She let him say the lie on national television, even though she even knew it was a lie, bro. Like, these people, they, like, when things like that happen in my brain, the way my shit functions is these are people that don't care about America, don't care about Americans, because they're pushing, like, and mind you, from what I heard, I don't know how true it is. It's something for me to look into, but Obama was the one who even passed, he passed a bill, or he passed some type of legislation where basically it made it legal for news stations to basically push propaganda. Ain't that crazy?
Senator Rand Paul has rejected Senator John Kennedy's bill that would make sure that members of Congress will not get paid and will not receive back pay because of how long this government shutdown has gone on. So, of course, Rand Paul, which no shocker to me, declined to go along with it. So that bill is not going to happen. That's number one. Number two, I think it's striking to me that members of Congress are continuing to get paid while everyone else is not. The people who are still showing up and working on behalf of the federal government. And his rebuttal that says, well, you know, there's people still working, and no, there's people not working right now. The House of Representatives is not in session right now. So why are they getting paid exactly? Okay, well, Senator John Kennedy had another proposal. Take a look at this.
The senator from Kentucky objected to your unanimous consent request.
To my bill to keep, to say Congress isn't paid during the shutdown. Is that correct?
To the bill you ask unanimous consent to pass. He objected to the unanimous consent.
I want to bring up my second bill.
Hey, yo, I fuck with John
It's called
Kennedy,
the Withhold Member Pay During Shutdowns Act. Remember, my first bill that Senator Paul objected to would have said members of Congress don't get paid, just like our staffs don't get paid, just like air traffic controllers don't get paid, just like the military doesn't get paid. We don't get paid until the shutdown is lifted, and we don't get our money in arrears. In other words, we don't recoup our money once the shutdown is lifted. Perhaps Senator Paul will find my second bill to be more palatable to him and his pocketbook. The Withhold Member Pay During Shutdowns Act would say, while we're in a shutdown and everyone else is not being paid, Congress would not be paid. But members of Congress, including Senator Paul, including me, including all members of Congress, would have the right to get the money back to be paid after they're out of the shutdown. In other words, the money would be escrowed, and they would get it once we came out of the shutdown.
It reminds me financially what's wrong with this country. You have to think about the interest rates at this point. You've got to think about how high inflation has become. And you also have to think about your financial future. You think they care about your financial future, your retirement plan? Absolutely not. All you need to do is look at the description below at leardevori.com. And that's why he had two bills, because he knew the first one was aggressive and the second one was less aggressive, if you think about it. Listen, as an American citizen, as a taxpayer, and I'm sure you agree with this is out of control. I find it interesting that members of Congress are defending their right to continue to receive a paycheck. Now, Rand Paul, his excuse was poor. Well, you know, instead of focusing on that,
Man, these motherfuckers care about that money. They want that bosky. They don't care about you, bro. That's why I said, bro. That's why I say stop being slaves to this shit, bro. People be slaves to this shit, Republican or Democrat. Stop being slaves to politicians, bro. They don't care about you, bro. Understand that. Understand that. They don't care about you, bro. All they want to do is continue to find ways and loopholes to steal your money. That's it. Why do you, understand? Do you think that they really care about your health care, bro? No, they do not care about your health care. It's a play. It's a play on words. It's a play, you know what I mean, to get you aroused. Oh, my health care. They don't care about your health care. Obamacare, for number one, is shitty. It actually is the reason why premiums went up. But they made, bro, these people spend so much money. They blow so much money. It's the reason why we're in the shit we're in now, bro. Bro. Man, I don't know, man. Maybe I'm a little slow. Maybe people need to, enlighten me or something. Because I got 2 eyes. I got, alhamdulillah, I got perfect vision for the most part. I got good ears. You know what I mean? I know I'm not blind. Bro, I know you see what I see. It's no way. It's no way you don't. Anyway, let's finish up with this video, man.
Let's open up the government. If you want to open up the government, then come out in support of ending the filibuster, because the Democrats aren't going to do it right now.
That's what I'm saying.
So it's interesting. It's a lot of nonsense. We're going to continue to highlight that on this show and make sure you guys see the full picture of everything.
It's crazy.
Okay, and now we're getting breaking news where a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to pay out the full amount of SNAP benefits for the month of November. This is crazy. Listen to this.
It's related to the government shutdown. Food stamp benefits and funding for that program known as SNAP. CNN's Renee Marsh is here with more. Renee, what's your new reporting?
Right. So this federal judge in Rhode Island just moments ago ordered the Trump administration to make full November payments for the SNAP program and do it by tomorrow. Now, this judge told the administration's lawyers that they had not complied with his original order, which said that the administration had to, at the very least, disperse partial payments for the SNAP food assistance program by Wednesday. Well, Wednesday has come and gone, and many states and people who rely on this benefit still have a balance of zero on their cards. This judge was quite angry, and at one point he said people have gone far too long without and not making these payments for them even another day is simply.
This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Why isn't the judge forcing Democrats to sign this CR bill, the same CR bill that they've been passed? Why are they trying to force Trump to use funds that aren't for SNAP to pay for SNAP? This is the shit I'm talking about, bro. Oh, my God. Hey, hope y'all get your food, though.
Unacceptable. He also went on to say without SNAP funding for the month of November, 16 million children are immediately at risk of going hungry. This should never happen in America. In fact, it is likely that SNAP recipients are hungry as we sit here. A lot of strong words from this federal judge. Again, he is ordering that the Trump administration release funds as far as SNAP goes to states by tomorrow.
So let me make sure you guys understand exactly why this federal judge has the authority to issue this ruling. SNAP benefits is mandatory, regardless if the money hasn't been appropriated or not. That's the way they wrote the language in the law. So even if the Trump administration pays out however much is left in this contingency account and they run out, they can still get a ruling that says the USDA has to pay the full amount. Now that's the legal side of it. But the reality is, okay, they're not going to be able to pay it out. So what will end up happening is the administration will come back and say, hey, we paid out the money, but there's no more money. So there's nothing that we can really do about it. This is similar to someone missing their payment on their car and the company coming back to them and saying, hey, you're late on your payment. Mandatory, you are required to pay. And the individual says, well, I don't have any money. So what do you want me to do? Now, obviously, these federal courts cannot confiscate anything from the federal government, but the principle still stands. At the end of the day, this is just another annoyance and a failure of Congress, because they are the one that not only appropriates the money, but they are the ones who continue to keep the government shut down.
Basically, what happened here is the judge said he was not satisfied with the partial payments that the administration said they could make, and then the obstacles that the administration said that were getting in the way of paying it, meaning they couldn't do it for 2 or 3 weeks or maybe even months. Now, what was so striking to me about this is the judge said the Trump administration ignored his order, of course, to restart the SNAP payments quickly, but the judge attributed that to the president attempting to disrupt the payments for called political reasons here. So very unhappy with the way that this was handled. Now, I will say we haven't heard from anybody in the Trump administration yet on this. I could imagine that the Department of Justice may be preparing papers to appeal this ruling. We'll have to go out tomorrow, and that people's cards will be reloaded. I can't imagine that it would happen that quickly. We're at close of business today, but we'll just have to see what happens here next.
Well, as
Yeah, man. Shout out to Devori Darkins. Make sure y'all go tap in. Link will be in the description to his channel if you want to tap in with him. And be dropping some dope videos. Definitely very insightful. One of the guys I definitely tap into. Yeah, man. But listen, bro. You know, I want people to get their SNAP benefits, man. Do I want every single person that gets them to get them? Fuck no. Because there's so many people on it that shouldn't be on it. And see, that's the problem, bro. And this is what I hate, bro. Bro, if you're a Democrat and you work, right, like me, you pay taxes. Your tax money is going to illegal immigrants in the country to house them, feed them, their children, and many more things. Like, they're not just bro, they like, I had to go take a test, a knowledge test, and a driver's test to get a license. They're just giving these people licenses. They're giving these people loans, all types of shit with your money. Because, see, you got to understand something, bro. These projects that they be doing, like, say, for instance, like, let's just say they built the bar room, which they wouldn't have, right? Because they don't do anything that really benefits America, right? So let's just say they built the bar room, right? They will be spending, let's just say the budget was $300 million, right? I would say $100 million might go to building that project. The rest of it is all kickbacks and overpriced toilets and toilet paper and shit. Like, this is what they do. This is what they do, bro. It's so much corruption, bro. You gotta tap into the Rubin report. He had the old New York mayor on there, man. They had a good conversation, and he was breaking down how much corruption it is in New York City. But it's not just New York City, bro. It's across the nation, bro. It's so much corruption going on in the government, bro. And you got one president who's not just talking about it, because remember, Obama talked about it. Bill Clinton talked about it. Even Hillary and them talked about it, about the corruption that's going on in the government. Never did anything about it. You finally got a president in Donald Trump who has done everything that he said he was going to do, right? Obviously, certain things takes time. You know, depending on what it is. Obviously, bringing down prices and all that stuff. It takes time, especially when you got the Fed in a way who just lower interest rates, when you got Democrats in a way who are trying to who go and get these federal judges to, you know, try to stop Trump from doing what he's doing. Like, bro, it's bro, I don't understand what people are seeing in these people, bro. I don't understand. I really don't. Cause I just don't want to pay income tax no more. I don't want to pay property tax. It's so many things that we could fight for, that we could demand, because without us, understand, we have the power. We the people was on the Declaration of Independence, bro. We the people have the power. But instead of us coming together and using the power to actually fucking do away with taxes and shit like that, you know, yeah, we could pay into you know, infrastructure and things like that. But bro, you can't afford shit. Can't afford nothing. Even with the healthcare system, like it's got to be some type of structure with that shit. While I can walk in Wawa and know how much a soda, a bag of chips is, a hoagie, everything. When you go into the hospital, you do not know what anything costs. Nothing. You know what I mean? You go in there with a broken foot, you don't even know how much it costs to get an exam. You know what I mean? To get an MRI, a CAT scan, anything. You don't know the cost of it. They're just billing you. They just doing whatever they want in the healthcare industry, bro. That's part of corruption that we need to get a fucking hold on. But hey, man. But that's the show for today, man. Hope you like the show. Yo, thank y'all. Yo, it's a couple people that tapped in with me the whole time, man. I really, truly do appreciate it, man. Seriously. Hey, yo, if you didn't hit that like button, hit that like button for me. Also, share, comment down below. If you agree or disagree with anything, if you got some insight, want to give me some information that I may have missed, or if I misrepresented something, make sure you hit me up and let me know, man. Also, hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time your boy drop a dope video. This your boy SL550. This is the N.G.L.A podcast. Until next time, I'm out.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams. I know niggas who played ball and gave it up for lean.
Millionaire thoughts, billionaire dreams, but my account in overdraft, I'm about to scream.
Rich man greed,
a poor man prayers.
Every man bleeds,
but look how God made us.
Too many losses, it's only right that we win. Yeah, I made a promise I'm never gonna lose again.